Welcome everybody to Roadium Radio episode 349, and I want to thank everybody on the live chat and everybody who decided not to be on the live chat, everybody who liked, comment, subscribe, dislike, unsubscribed. It doesn't matter. You guys are still watching, and I want to thank everybody and welcome all the podcasters that are watching me with your fake accounts. Welcome. Hope you guys enjoy the show. If you guys didn't get a chance to tune in the other day, we had Misfit Soto. Actually, one since 2 days ago. Misfit Soto, if you guys didn't get a chance, he was here on Roadium After Dark. And then before that, on Roadium After Dark, we had the Yodis, or Coyote, as you guys know them, the Yodis. Before that, we had Young Chach. Before that, we had one of the world's famous DJs, DJ Qbert. Qbert was in the building. Make sure you guys check that out. And before that, we had Johnny D from Spanish Fly, Roadium After Dark. So we have had a lot of great artists, but today we also have a Bay Area legend. We also have mutual friends, and I want to give a shout out right now to Jeff Kwan and also to Gold Toes. Thank you guys for the connection. Jeff, much love and respect to you. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it with Roadium Radio episode 349 with the one and only, my brother, Herm. How you doing? Herm. You know, it's funny, man, because there's names sometimes that, like Qbert, when I introduced them, my name went blank. I almost said Q, but Herm Lewis. Herm, you know what? It's a pleasure for you to be here. I know that we actually had planned this a long time ago, but since you don't live locally, I actually had to wait. Now, you're here for an event that's taking place tomorrow, correct?
Yes, I'm here for the West Coast Hip Hop Music Awards. I've been nominated for my contributions in the music industry. So I'm here for that specifically. And Jeff, good looking out. Appreciate you always. He connected me with you, Tony.
Absolutely.
And I'm here.
Yes. You know? And thank you for being here. I know you ended up staying close to the event, so you actually had to make a drive over here.
Yes, and that right there was challenging. It was frustrating. And thanks to my wifey, she encouraged me, like, man, we got to get on the road. We ain't got time to sit down. Let's just throw our suitcases in and get right back out. We stopped and got something to eat.
Yeah.
And we rolled on in. You know, she done all the driving.
Yeah, okay. How was the drive over here, man?
You know, the drive over here was cool because actually we avoided the traffic. But just seeing the traffic.
On the other side.
On the other side.
Right.
I'm praying that half of that is gone when we leave here because it was a lot of traffic.
Yes. Herm, you know what? I wanted to ask you this question. Hold on. Let me see. Let me get my notes here. Okay, here we go. I think I got my notes. Yes, I did. Right here. Okay. On your Instagram, it says something very interesting, which eventually I want to get into, and eventually I want to get into your music career, your contribution to what you have done. But it says here, music executive, book author, we'll get into that, community activist, public motivational speaker. Okay. Just really quick, if you want to touch on the public motivational speaker, because earlier, before the cameras went on, I was talking to you how there's a lot of youth out there that I believe is lost, that are turning to the streets for answers possibly. You come from the streets, I come from the streets. So what was it that inspired or encouraged you to become, once again, a public motivational speaker?
Well, what encouraged me to become a motivational speaker is just when I was incarcerated, I was fortunate at a young age to be affiliated with some older individuals that was dedicated to acquiring knowledge. Mm-hmm. That was dedicated to the upliftment of the people.
Yes.
So that right there was my initial introduction into speaking and encouraging other individuals because of the people that I was fortunate to be around when I was incarcerated. So once I got out of prison, you know, I just took it upon myself to encourage the people that I encountered, you know, and it came through my example. It came through one-on-one communication, one-on-one activities with group activities with individuals that may be going through some challenges. I sat down with them, read the book with them, read the Bible with them, and pointed out certain things to individuals to encourage them and uplift them. That's what inspired me, and that's what still inspired me.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
just having the ability to inspire somebody to encourage somebody and just let them know that choose positivity over negativity every time.
Absolutely. You know, now you are originally from the Bay Area, to be exact, I believe San Francisco, correct?
San Francisco, Hunters
Okay.
Point.
Okay, yes, and that's one thing that I wanted to bring up here, Hunters Point. Now, for people that may not know what is Hunters Point, what is Hunters Point?
Hunters Point is a community, and you know, it's in the Bayview district. But Hunters Point, you know, when I was growing up, consisted of 5 or 6 different major communities, and collectively it was all considered Hunters Point.
Okay.
But over the years and after the drugs got embedded into our communities, it started separating. But initially, Hunters Point consisted of Harbor Road, West Point, Oakdale, Double Rock, and Hunters Point. So
Okay.
collectively, that just made Hunters Point. And after the drugs infested the community, they started adding, all the communities started breaking off, and a lot of blocks became Hunters Point also, like
Okay.
Thomas, Keefe, Oakdale. Oakdale was one of the major blocks too in Hunters Point that originally made up Hunters Point. You know, so
Okay.
Hunters Point go from Hunters Harbor Road, West Point, Oakdale, Crusader, and Double Rock.
Okay.
And Bishop Corner was, back in the days, was considered one of the main factors too.
Okay. Now, so that's where you grew up. You didn't move around, but that's what you're originally from.
Yeah, well, you know, I grew up in Hunters Point, Harbor Road, and at some point they was remodeling the neighborhood. So everybody had to move out. So
Right.
when they moved us out, I ended up moving down to Double Rock.
Okay.
So I established a good rapport down there, me and my family. And some of the other homies or families at the time moved to West Point, moved to Sunnydale. And Sunnydale is on the other side of Hunters Point. That's like a separate community. But some of the individuals moved there, moved to Oakdale, until Hunters Point was remodeled. Once Hunters Point was remodeled, we all moved back to the original places that had been remodeled.
Yeah.
And that was Harbor Road.
Okay. Do you come from a big family? Like, do you have a lot of brothers and sisters?
I have 5 brothers, 3 sisters. 2 of my brothers got murdered in the streets.
Wow.
Gun violence. My youngest brother, Rodney Lewis, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
He got murdered in 1992. 1992, gun violence on the streets. You know, actually, you know, sitting in his car, somebody murdered him. My other brother had just done 8 years in the federal penitentiary, and when he got out, and this is a trip. This is what young people don't recognize. My brother, before he went to the penitentiary, you know, he was the guy.
Yeah.
You know, he was a factor.
Yeah.
He went to the penitentiary, done 8 years. When he got out, he was still the guy. But now the young kids that was 7 years old when he went, they 15, 16 now. So they feel like they don't know who he is.
Oh.
Yeah, so an altercation occurred between my niece and a guy that she was messing with.
Yeah.
And my brother decided to go over there and confront the guy. And because these young kids didn't know who he was, they didn't hesitate to pull the guns and shoot him.
Yeah.
And killed him. A couple of hours later, it's Herm brother. That was Herm brother. That's D. Lou. That, you know, and it was just unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because if it was somebody up there of your caliber or my caliber with some street credibility, we'd have been like, hold up. We ain't doing that.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing but a physical altercation. you're not finna kill him behind a physical altercation that it didn't deserve that type of consequence. But that's what happened to my other brother. And then my sister passed. Lisa, she was my younger sister. She passed because she got addicted to crack. And unfortunately for her, she never got clean.
Oh.
She never went to jail. She just got addicted to crack, and it just demoralized her, deteriorated her mentally, physically, and we done all we can do as a family, putting her in programs, supporting her here, supporting her there, but she wasn't ready for no type of assistance.
Yeah.
And my thing was, I always prayed that the police would pick her up, take her to jail, give her 9 months. Because after 3 months of being in jail, she would have looked in the mirror and say, hey, I'm Lisa. After 6 months, she would have started reading the Bible. She would have started praying. She would have started writing letters. She would have started looking beautiful again. Yeah. After 9 months, she would have been like, man, I'm ready for life. I'm ready to do what's required to be a productive citizen. But that didn't happen. And that's what happened to me. I was on crack for 2 consecutive years, tore up from the floor up.
Yeah.
But it was different, Delancey Street, different rehabilitation organizations wanted to take me in. But when I was on drugs, I'm an extremist. I do whatever I do, I'm going to take it to the extreme. So I wasn't interested in going to no rehabilitation program. Only way I got clean and sober from crack is going to jail.
Yeah.
And when I went to jail, I wasn't interested in using no drugs. And that's what enabled me to reestablish my mind, my physical health. And when I got out, I was ready for life.
I want you to take us back to your childhood. What was it like in Frisco, in your neighborhood, like in the 70s? And the reason why I'm asking you is because you told me your age before we went live. So I said, okay, because mine, I can tell you what my neighborhood was like in the 80s, but you're a little bit older than me. So I wanted you to kind of paint us a picture. What was it like living in the 70s?
Man, in the 70s, man, the neighborhoods was beautiful because, Bayview Hunters Point, it was all black. Everybody owned their houses. I'm talking about beautiful houses everywhere you went.
Yeah.
Parents was together. It was mother, father.
Yes.
Raising their kids, going to work, handling their business, buying property, doing what successful, productive individuals do in the 70s. And me as a kid growing up, my parents didn't have a house. We stayed in the projects. But my mama, single mom, raised all 8 of us. But she was so determined to not let the environment influence us in a negative way, to where everything that we needed, we had. We had beautiful Christmases, Thanksgivings, Halloween, whatever holiday moms provided.
Yes.
So and other parents done the same thing, and that's how it was in the 70s. Growing up, it was about basketball and basketball. If basketball season is playing, we all at the gym. Okay. Everybody, the whole neighborhood. The little kids, older kids, the better kids, we all at the gym. After basketball season, we would go to baseball season, and we all out there on the diamond. After baseball season, football season from the start next week, we all at the football field, throwing the ball, catching the ball, playing tackle with no pads on. But that's how we grew up. And in the process of participating in them type of physical activities, altercations is going to occur.
Yeah.
Among friends, among community loved ones. And when it did, we fought, we wrestled, shook it off, and 2 days later, we back on the field again.
Yeah.
But it never resorted to no gunplay. It never resorted to us killing another man because of a disagreement or because of a confrontation that could have been eliminated through communication. So, that's what it was in the 70s. It wasn't no crack. If you was using drugs, the whole world didn't know about it. You know,
Yeah.
because a lot of people was functioning in the closet doing what they was doing.
Yes.
You know, but when the crack thing hit in the 80s, that you know, people start selling their, you know, parents passing, people selling their parents' houses just to get the drug.
You know, in the 70s, what type of music, if you can recall, was playing what would your mother or your father play when you guys were kids?
Al Green, I'll Be Around. Aretha Franklin, Respect. The Temptations, the Temptations, I heard it through the grapevine. Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On.
Yeah.
You know, all the old classics,
all
man.
the classics that are still classics today.
Still classics, you know, all the old classics, man. You know, that's what they played. And we was inspired by that. You know, on the weekend, mom's going, like a day like this, mom's going to have a few her friends over. She's going to have the music going.
Yeah.
There's going to be some drinks flowing for whoever drinking. There's going to be plenty of food. But that's how it was in the 70s. And us kids knew to stay out the way.
Absolutely.
You know, stay out. You can be in front. You can go next door to your friend's house. But this is grown folks socializing tonight. No kids allowed. And that's how it was. Without her even having to say nothing to us.
Yeah.
When we already knew. You know, it's like with anything. If you discipline your kid at an early age, as that kid grow and mature, he's going to respect them boundaries. He's going to respect the rules and regulations that has been instilled in him. You know, and sometimes they may venture to the left or venture to the right, but at some point they're going to come back to the center.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all we can expect, you know?
Yeah. Now, take us to the 80s and I guess walk us through, because I believe, like, I first started hearing rap. I think Rapper's Delight came out in 1979, if I'm correct. I could be wrong, but
It did, 79.
79. Now, rap's starting to come in. My first early remembrance of rap was hearing a record by Grandmaster Flash called Grandmaster Flash on the Wheels of Steel. Obviously, Rapper's Delight. Then eventually we ended up hearing Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, the Message, Survival, Scorpio, etc. Then we start hearing Run DMC, the Fat Boys, Salt and Pepper. In the 80s, can you recall what rap was really being listened to in Frisco?
Everything you just mentioned.
Okay. Houdini.
Grandmaster Flash, the Furious Five. What's the sister name? Chantel?
Roxanne Shante.
Roxanne Chantel. Them.
Yeah.
Run DMC. You know.
UTFO.
UTFO, KRS-One.
See, to me, that's when rap was fun.
That's when rap was fun, and because that was the original foundation.
Right.
That was the original foundation, and rap is still fun. My thing is, I'm not gonna never criticize what's happening now in the rap scene because circumstances change.
Yes.
And regardless of what era you was popping in or what era you was captivated by, you don't want to criticize or over critique what's happening now. Because then, you know, you're gonna be like, oh man, he ain't even trying to fill us. My thing is, I'm gonna give every young artist the opportunity of listening, especially if you got something constructive to say, and if you got something that's just totally shoot 'em up, bang bang. I may listen to it, but that's not gonna be in my deck. That's not something that I'm gonna push, you know. And I'm not, but at the same time, I'm not gonna smash on you or criticize you about how you getting down. Now, recently, it was a song that I was listening to, and it was just too much. It was just too much. Okay, too much. And I'm like, dude, to me, you can switch that word and add this word, and the song will still be more effective, and it appeal to more people.
Yeah.
A larger audience, to me.
Right.
You know, I mean, just like we was talking over there. Some of these guys need mentors. Some of these guys need some constructive criticism. But you got to be willing to accept the constructive criticism. Yeah. If you're an artist and you can't accept constructive criticism, then you're not going to grow.
Yeah.
You're not going to grow. You got to be able to appreciate somebody taking a listen to your music and giving you an honest opinion and honest feedback, regardless of how you feel. And you may have to make some small adjustments.
Yeah.
But that small adjustment can possibly get you to the next level.
Absolutely. What happened to Frisco, or should I make it a little bit more intimate, your neighborhood, when crack hit in the 80s?
Man, it was all bad. It was just all bad. It's like when crack hit in the 80s, I was a boss. I was having money.
Yeah.
Only thing I was doing was drinking a Miller Draft and smoking some weed.
Yeah.
And I was functioning. I was handling my business. Crack hit the scene, and this young lady, I decide to let her influence me to try something. And she put it, remember they used to call them Grimmies?
Yeah.
She put it in the cigarette, in the weed.
Yeah.
I hit the weed, and now I don't want to smoke regular weed no more.
Yeah.
So that was my introduction to it, and other people that I know introduction to it was similar. It started with Grimmies, and then the pipe, and then more drugs, and at some point you lose all of your material possessions. You lose your dress code. You lose your appearance.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not getting groomed. You're not getting cut. You're not showering. You lose you lose your humility, your integrity. And that's what happened to the community.
Yeah.
On a large scale, all at once. And fortunately for me, God blessed me with the ability to be rehabilitated.
Yes.
And I've been clean and sober for 32 years now.
Awesome. Congratulations on
No
that one.
weed, no drink, no nothing. Just water and spiritual enlightenment from God. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem associating with other individuals. Everybody I associate with smoke weed.
Yeah.
And have a drink. I'm good with that. But if you go and start pulling out some coke, some heroin, then we got our association is going to have to be discontinued because I can't get down like that.
Yeah.
And I can't have it in my presence.
You know, when you first started, it was kind of like, if you will, almost like it's Friday, Saturday, you could go ahead and put it in the weed. All here, we call them primos.
Yeah, primos too, primos, Grimmies, yep.
And a lot of people, me personally, I was a nickel and dimer. I was not, I never wanted to be big time. And though I had friends here in the neighborhood that were big time, I never wanted to be big time because I was told by an older guy that ended up getting, smoked. And he told me, you only got two options, dead or in jail. It's up to you. And I told him like this, I just want to buy a mixer, turntables, and records.
Right.
He said, okay, then get in and get out. He goes, but there's no telling if you're ever going to get out.
Right.
He said, because once greed sets in, let me make this 10,000 more. Let me take this 20K more. And
it's addictive.
It's addictive.
It's addictive.
So I started seeing a lot of my friends eventually smoking primos, and then eventually it went to the pipe.
Yeah.
And they end up in jail. They start losing their integrity, start losing everything.
Yeah.
How long from the time that you could recall that you smoked your first primo that you knew like you became addicted? Was it?
Like I say, man, I'm an extremist. And once I smoked that first Grimmy joint, I never rolled regular weed no more.
Oh, okay.
Regular weed, I had to have the Grimmy to put in the weed.
Yeah.
And if it was, I wasn't smoking regular weed no more. And then what took me over the edge to self-destruction is I was walking through Double Rock one night, 1 o'clock in the morning, tweaking, and I had some coke, some crack. I had some crack, but I didn't have no weed. This chick out there tweaking too. She said, Herm, I got some weed at the house. I'm like, cool. I'm like, okay, let's go up to your house. Man, her walk up to her house. She get me to the house, and she go and look like she looking for the weed.
Yeah. And
come back and say, Herm, I can't find the weed, but I got this. Put a pipe on the table.
Oh, wow.
And my dumb ass hit it. And after that, I didn't want the weed no more. I didn't want the Grimmies no more. I just wanted the crack and the pipe. And I done that for 2 years.
Wow.
Went to jail, got out, went to jail again, got out. I went to jail, the county jail, done like 7 months. My brother, everybody in my family was doing well through hustling. Yeah. So I had everything I need. So when I got out, I had a car, place to stay, all that. Got out, I think 4 days later, I'm back on the shit.
Wow.
Get arrested again. They take my car, all the shit. I go back to jail. This time they send me to the penitentiary. Send me to San Quentin. I do 2 years in San Quentin. And I'm ready. I'm ready for society. Get released from San Quentin, come out, and I stayed out for a total of 28 days after doing 2 years. After the fifth day of being out, I went and smoked some crack again.
Right.
And after I smoked the crack on that fifth day, I was walking the streets looking for crack for the next 21 days. The police, the neighborhood police, we all have them, knew exactly who I was, knew all of us.
Yeah.
And he seen me up on West Point at 3 o'clock in the morning, tweaking, pulled up in the paddy wagon. He say, Herm, is that you? You on that shit again? I'm taking your black ass to jail. Took me to jail. Because he knew of my potential. Yeah. He knew what I was doing prior to getting on crack. He took me back to jail. After being out 28 days, I went back to the pen, done another 2 years.
Wow.
This is where my life changed. After I done the 2 years, I do 2 years. I'm finna get out next month. Next week. I'm finna get out next week.
Yeah.
The police raid the yard. They find some knives. They come to my cell. They find some reading material.
Yeah.
Some revolutionary reading material. And that was enough to prevent me from going home next week. So instead of me going home next week, they gave me an extra year in solitary confinement SHU program at Corcoran. Right? When I get to Corcoran, I had just quit smoking cigarettes. I just quit smoking cigarettes on the main line. Yeah. When I get to Corcoran, the only thing in the cell, I had just started reading my Bible also. So when I get to Corcoran, the only thing that was in the cell was a pack of cigarettes and the Bible. And God told me just as surely as I'm talking to you now, if you smoke the cigarettes, you're going to smoke crack when you get out. If you read the Bible, I'm going to walk you through this process. Took the cigarettes and threw them out. Read the Bible. And the year that I was in Corcoran SHU program was like this, smooth, just effortlessly, because I was spiritually aligned with God. And it's a lot of people, whoever you pray to, whatever your religion is, in my perspective, yeah, I got to have some type of higher power. That higher power for me is Jesus Christ. So that's what keep me clean and sober for the last 32 years.
What year was that, do you recall, when you were in solitary?
That was 89.
Oh, it was still in the 80s.
88, right when they had the fights going on at Corcoran. Remember they had the stage fights?
Yes.
I got out probably 6 months before that happened. And I'm so thankful that I got out, and that's why I know God blessed me, because I was young. I was like 28, and I was a hitter. So if the OGs would have said, look, Herm, when you go out to the yard, you got to do this. Yeah. I would have took off just on the strength of my reputation, on the influence that these older guys had on me. Yeah. I would have took off and probably would have got a life sentence. But thank God that didn't nothing transpire like that until I was out. And once I got out, I was sending the homies books and packages, and I was on high-risk parole. My parole officer called me to the office. He said, man, listen, you want to go back to jail? I'm like, for what? I'm not doing that. Right. He said, you sending Tiari books, you sending this guy letters, you sending this guy books, and you sending this guy money orders. I'm like, well, He said, they haven't been getting money orders. They haven't been getting books. You are not allowed to communicate with convicts in Corcoran Shoe Program. If you write another letter, send another book, we locking your ass up. So I discontinued sending letters and writing books and sending books. But I had the book company, Marcus Bookstore, do the work for me. And I still got in trouble. So they forced me to quit corresponding with the Conrads.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because in the 80s when I first started slanging, again, just 10s and 20s, okay? I saw people's lives change. You know, they would come around with their Mercedes-Benz and their girl, you know, all looking nice and pretty, come back a couple of more times, and then about 3 o'clock in the morning, he's ready to pimp his girl, okay, because he ain't got no more money.
Right.
And being a teenager, we think that that's all fun and games, but it wasn't until one day that my mother realized what I was doing, and she told me, do you know what you're doing to those people's lives? And I saw the look in her face, and I feared my mother. I feared my father too, but my mother was a different level of fear, you know, so I was like, well, I'm just making money. You know, I'm just making. One day, she taught me a lesson. She found what my half ounce that I had, my money, and she threw it all away. She kicked me out, and I had nothing. But I had to learn my lesson that way. So, but I've talked to a lot of people that were on drugs, and I've always asked them, like, how did you know you were hooked? And one guy straight told me, man, when I first took my first Booyah blast, I knew that was it.
Yeah.
He said, I knew that was it. And I was like, wow, I'm glad I never got involved with that.
Hey, man, you know, it's crazy. And people that never ventured into it is blessed. If you ain't never went that level, you blessed. There's so many people that have. And right now, today, there's individuals that never got clean. I've been clean 32 years. There's individuals that I know that were solid individuals that never totally rehabilitated themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes the only rehabilitation option you have is going to jail. You know, like for me, I didn't get arrested. I got rescued because I was towed up. And the reason I knew I was hooked, that was the question. The reason I knew I was hooked is because that's all I thought about. Before I got on crack, I'm waxing my car. I had 4 or 5 cars. I had a couple of females I was seeing. I had plenty of money. All the gear, silk shirts, leather coats, all the stuff.
Yeah.
But when you get on the drugs, you know, all of that evaporates.
Yeah.
All of that evaporates. And when it's all gone, you just out there. And fortunately for me, like I say, before I got hooked on crack, I was supplying all these guys. All these guys. I was supplying the community. More than just my community.
Right.
I was a factor. So when I got hooked on crack, I had built up enough credibility within the community, within the young hustlers out there, to where they wouldn't even allow me to stand around. Man, I gave Herm something earlier. Just give him something. They didn't want me because I'm going to take somebody's shit. I was aggressive.
Yeah.
So they would, out of respect for me, man, here you go, Herm.
Yeah.
Herm, meet me out here tomorrow. I got something for you. So I never valued the drug because I was so accustomed to having large quantities of it.
Yeah.
So when I got hooked on, and I'm getting a handful of shit, I would go and just, you know, I never valued that.
Right.
But and it took me 2 years of going in and out of prison to clean up my act.
Right here it says, and I'm reading this. Okay, let me make sure I get the right part here. It says, OG label owner and street activist from San Francisco, okay, where he's an underground legend and one of the pioneers of independent rap music. He's known for his positive message. Okay, there's a certain part that says, upon his release, here it is, he launched his own label called Black Power Productions, soon released his debut compilation entitled Trying to Survive in the Ghetto. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. So you said you got out, I believe, around 89. What was it that inspired you or motivated you to get into the music and create your own label?
You know, what inspired me is an opportunity.
Okay.
like I said, when I got out, I was real knowledgeable. I was real influential. I was into physical fitness, and I was the big homie.
Yeah.
And at the time, RBL Posse was just finishing up their album, the Lesson to Be Learned,
yes.
the Bama Weed album. They was just finishing up that album. And Black Chris and Mr. C, you know, we used to sit down and talk, and they just liked it, my conversation. And Black Chris got at me one morning and said, Herm, hey, I want you to come down to the studio and say something on my tape. You know, some of the stuff that you be talking about, just put it on my tape.
Yeah.
I ain't never been to the studio in my life.
Yeah.
Never been to the studio. So he take me down to TC studio. So I go down there and I wrote out what I was gonna say, and I spit that message on the RBL Lessons to Be Learned album. And the day that album got released, I turned myself in for another 6 months, another year. In 1990, I had to turn myself in. No, their album got released in 92, May 1992. The day that album got released, I turned myself in. I didn't know nothing about what the album was going to do. I didn't have no expectations. I just put my message on there.
Yeah.
But when I'm in jail, you know, cats is coming in and out, getting bailed out, coming back. Herm, everybody love what you said on RBL tape. I'm like, what?
Right.
Oh, man, they got T-shirts and everything. I'm like, what? I called my sister's house, and she got my message on her voicemail. I'm like, is this shit serious?
Wow.
So everybody was liking it. And RBL Posse was blowing up.
Yeah.
And I'm a part of being on the album. So when I got out, I had $10,000.
Oh, wow.
I had $10,000. So when I got out, I said, man, I'm finna do some music. My objective was just to do a spoken word like how I do on the intros. I was gonna do a Stop the Violence type of thing on the A side and the B side. Just me.
Right.
But I'm talking to Black Chris and Mr. C up on Harbor Road. And Black Chris said, well, you might as well let us put a song on there. And I'm like, how you gonna tell them no? And they the hottest artists in the Bay Area at the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, for sure. So I'm doing the intro. I got Black Chris and Mr. C, RBL Posse. And then Rapping Forte happened to pull up.
Wow. Can you speak a little bit closer to the mic? Because this story's getting really good.
Okay. Hey, Rapping Forte happened to pull up.
Yes.
So when Rapping Forte pulls up, he like, man, I want to be on it too. Now we ain't talking. They just want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was an influential dude, highly respected, and they all respected me. We all respected each other. So they're like, yeah, I want to do something too. So we still chopping it up. And then Fly Nate the Bankster, he had just got out the penitentiary. Just got out. Harbor Road was the stopping spot. Wherever you was at, after you waxed your car, put your music in your car, got a new chick, you was coming through Harbor Road.
Yeah.
Just to floss a little bit. So Fly Nate the Bankster got out, and he come up to Harbor Road. I never knew nothing about him rapping. But we up there, we chopping it up, he just started rapping. Man, this dude rapped for like 10 minutes straight.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, man, we got to get you on the tape, Nate.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, okay. That's how it all materialized, the Trying to Survive in the Ghetto album.
Yeah. Did you name that album that?
Yeah, Trying to Survive in the Ghetto, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And this was under your label?
Under Black Power Productions.
What studio did you guys end up recording this
We recorded this at TC Studio.
Okay.
TC and the Enhancer. You know, and right there on 3rd Street, TC had he had a studio right there in the garage.
Okay.
And similar to this.
Yes.
You know, he come in there, man, and, you know, TC was one thing about him. He had a lot of influence because he worked with all the artists, and he was mutual. He was neutral. So if you was from Sunnydale, Fillmore, Hunters Point, wherever you was from, when you come to the TC studio,
yes,
you know, respect the rules and regulations. And we ain't having none of that.
Right.
You know, and that's how TC operated this thing.
Wow. So as far as production on this album, was there specific producers or were the artists bringing their own music?
No. You know what? What happened is TC had about He had beats already made.
Okay.
So the first day, because I got with JT the Bigger Figure, I went to talk to him down at the skating rink. He had already been on the radio and everything.
Yes.
So I've got at JT the Bigger Figure and say, JT, look, I'm doing this album, man. I want you to be a part. He said, oh, big homie, this is good. When we going to be at the studio? JT a go-getter. And he a decision maker. So he come to the studio, and it's me, Black Chris, Mr. C, RBL, Cool Nut, all of us in the studio. You know, some major rap figures.
Yes.
JT the Bigger Figure show up with San Quinn and Demo. And when JT comes in the studio, we listen to beats, everybody just write, you know, they got their tablets, everybody, we scatter like this. JT walks in and say, man, I want that beat right there. Right there, I want that beat. He said, man, we ready right now. And he went in there, him, San Quinn, and Demo, and dropped that song. They dropped one of the hottest songs on the album, right?
Right.
But when JT took the initiative and jump-started the project with his song, with the enthusiasm and the commitment that he made that day, while everybody else was still writing, everybody in the studio took notice and knew that they had to rise to the occasion.
Absolutely.
And each artist say, man, we be back tomorrow.
They knew they had to elevate their game.
They have to elevate their game, including one of the best groups out of the Bay Area, RBL Posse. They said, man, we be back tomorrow. Cool, they said, I'll be back tomorrow. And when they came back, everybody knew they had to elevate their game, and that's when RBL came. It's been a long time since I used my 9. Do you got yours? Because I got mine. Straight hit. And the good thing about that is RBL was signed to Independent Music, and they was disgruntled, aggravated, frustrated behind the lack of financial the lack of financial money that they was receiving for their album. So they wasn't trying to put out another album. And the public had played their Lesson to Be Learned album for probably 3 years. You would hear that music up and down the streets 3 years later. But now the public is like, man, do they still got it? I think they fell off. You know, people were started getting, you know, impatient.
Right.
People started wondering, was they one-hit wonders? And when Black Chris and Mr. C came with It's Been a Long Time on my album, the public took notice. The whole country took notice, like, man, they still got it. Right. And when they started working on their new album, they had hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pre-orders already because people knew that they were still at the top of their game.
Yeah. So what year did that album drop?
That album dropped in 93.
Trying to Survive the Ghetto. Now, immediately, what was the response you were getting from the streets?
Man, immediately, everybody loved it. And the thing about it is, I didn't have no expectations for the album.
Okay.
My expectations was, yeah, we're going to sell, Hunters Point going to buy them.
The hood.
The hood going to buy them. You know, and the hood going to buy them. 3rd Street going to buy them.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll see what happened. So I took, 50 consignment. Remember, everybody was doing it on consignment. Yeah. I took 25 to 3rd Street record store, 25 over here, 25 over there. And then I went over to Creative Music. I don't know if you know Creative Music.
No, I don't.
Gold Toes and Jeff know them. One of the best independent mom and pop stores in the country.
Okay.
Okay, right there on Ocean Street near Lakeview. So I go over to Creative Music, and Joe and his wife looked and say, Herm, you got a good album here. We want about 100 CDs and 200 cassettes. He say, and we're going to pay you for them right now. Mm. And that right there was the initial boost of confidence that I needed. So the next day, the music people the record store on 3rd Street, they sold out. Right. The other store in Oakland, they sold out. All the stores sold out. So I had to order some more, and I had to order some more from Rainbow Records.
Okay.
Remember Rainbow Records?
Rainbow Records,
I had to order some more from Rainbow Records, and I think I ordered like 5,000. They gone in a week.
Wow.
I'm like, wow. You know, and now the lady, I forgot her name, but she was real cool. The lady at Rainbow Records said, look, Herm, people really want your album. And we don't want you to lose the momentum. So what we're going to do, we're going to press up 10,000 CDs and 20,000 cassettes. That's when cassettes were selling more.
Yeah.
And we'll just give them to you on consignment. When you finish selling them, write us a check. She gave them to me on consignment.
Wow.
Bing. Bing. Then a distributor over in San Rafael hit me and say, Herm, we want to buy some tapes. How many you got? So I got like 3,000 and 2,000. Said we want them all. And then ordered some more. And it just kept selling. It never stopped selling.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, for those that are watching, is that still available for people to purchase? Is it more on, like, say somebody wanted the hard copy, those hard copies still available, or is it pretty much everything on all platforms?
It's pretty much on platforms now. I mean, I had a few hard copies. You know, I had like 200 hard copies in the bottom of my garage, and I sold them.
Okay.
You know, I sold them. I probably got one. I forgot to bring the book.
It's all good.
But I'm gonna send it to you. I should have brought you a copy, but I think I got a couple of them. I try to just hide a couple for myself.
Right, of course,
know?
yes. So right here it says, it's some of the groups that were on there: Cold World Hustlers, RBL Posse, Sugar Bear, Young Selsky. Okay, and more confirmed Frisco underground figures like Rapid Forte, JT the Bigger Figure, and if I'm correct, IMP. Okay, there you go. Yeah. So now that one, did you ever release a second one?
I released the second one.
How soon after? Year and a half or so?
I released the second one in 95.
Okay.
Yeah, the second one was still trying to survive in the ghetto.
Okay.
And that was a good album, but I made some bad decisions.
Okay.
Because now I got expectations. And the public is expecting, from the first album,
yes,
I didn't know nothing about The Source. I didn't know nothing about Murder Dog. I didn't know nothing about 4080 the magazine. But now on the second one, I'm running full-page ads in magazines, and I'm promoting the second album and all of this stuff. And I had money. So on the second album, I ended up pressing up, out of my own money, I ended up pressing up 50,000 CDs. And I think 20,000 cassettes. That's when CDs took over.
Right.
And I had, remember the snippets? Mm-hmm. So I pressed up like, I think 5,000 snippets just to let the public get a chance to hear it. And that was one bad decision, because once I gave the snippets out and let the public hear it, the feedback wasn't good. The feedback was lukewarm. Like, oh man, it ain't as good as the first one.
So they didn't even bother.
No, they bothered. It sold.
Yeah.
But it didn't touch the first one. But it was like, oh, it's cool because of the snippets. When the album came out, it took off because I had clientele. I had built up a nice
fan base,
fan base. So they sold, and then, but I'm nervous. I had an apartment, and I had these CDs, 50,000 CDs, and 20,000 cassettes at my apartment where I used to do my other shit at, and I had them stacked up to the ceiling, and I'm nervous. Like, man, these motherfuckers ain't selling the way they supposed to sell.
Right.
And then the guy from San Rafael called me and said, Herm,
yeah,
I need 40,000 CDs.
40,000.
And 15,000 cassettes. Man, I grabbed a U-Haul, threw them things in there, rolled out to San Rafael. He wrote me a check for 50,000.
Did you ever have him in, it was in Berkeley, in Leopold's?
Yeah, Leopold's.
Okay.
The Rasputins over in Berkeley.
Yeah.
Yeah. We done shows over there.
Okay, the reason why I asked, because when I had Money B here, we talked about that store, because we took pictures inside of Leopold's.
Yeah.
And then there was a radio station, I believe, that I just recently did an article, an interview. Let me show you if I can see the picture. Maybe you may recognize this DJ from Frisco. This guy right here, Marcus Clemens from the radio.
From which radio?
I think it was Capo something.
Yeah, I've seen him before.
Yeah, that was me and High C back in 1992.
Man, is that you with the Cincinnati hat?
Yes.
Look at you, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and
Yeah,
I just
remember seeing him. Did he used to be running with KMEL too, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe so.
Remember seeing
Jeff,
him.
if you're watching, you can correct us, bro. But yes, I just recently did an interview, and I thought I had the radio station. You know what? Let me see if Jeff right here. I'll tell you
Could
right
be
now.
KMEL or KPOO.
It's KPOO 89.5 Frisco. That's it. That was the radio station. And
KPOO. They don't like you to call it KPOO no more.
Okay, and he was telling me.
He told me that. He want KPOO, not KPOO.
He said that they still had my glossy that we signed.
Oh, classic. They got all the glossies.
Yeah,
they got the platinum records up there and everything. That's I done an interview there probably like 6 months ago.
Oh, okay.
With a Snack Radio. Yeah, that's the name of his hip hop station, Snack Radio. This is a white guy.
Okay.
I got his name, man. He a good dude too, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now it says once again, Herm released several other compilations. He also signed Primo, T-Love, and later a duo called Odd Couple, and a few more. Now, so this is your label. So you released these compilations, but at the time you didn't have nobody signed?
I didn't have nobody signed. When I released the first compilation, I wanted to sign Sugar Bear.
Okay.
You know, Sugar Bear, that was his first time being heard. But Sugar Bear generated the most hype, the most anticipation, and the fans was just captivated by his lyrical style and his persona. And I wanted to sign him. But then his parents prevented that from happening. Then other people got at me about signing him, but then they wouldn't let him go. You know, his parents, it was like, there's like Joe Jackson. You know, they wanted to be in the middle of everything. So I wanted to sign him. It didn't go through. Then another company wanted to sign him. Before Dog Day Records wanted to sign Sugar Bear.
Okay.
Before they signed 11-5, but they couldn't work out the numbers.
Okay.
And so I didn't get Sugar Bear. Then, and you know, after my compilation, all the other guys that was having money, they start grabbing artists from off that album.
Oh.
Like Fly Nate the Bankster ended up signing with one of his other partners. I think it was
Take your time.
Yeah, it was Gito record label. He signed with Gito. I forgot the record label. And who else? Then T-Lo was the artist. He wasn't on the first album, but I was been working with him, so I ended up signing him. And then Primo was on the second album, and I ended up signing him.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. We're going to jump a little bit ahead because I want to eventually take some phone calls. Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask you, if I had to twist your arm in this question, and we're just talking about the Bay Area, can you give me your top 4 Bay Area rappers? It could be a group or it could be an individual. Who are your top 4? People don't like to answer this because they're like, man, I got friends. They're going to get mad at me.
About 5, man. What's
okay,
up with
5.
4,
Let's
man?
go up. I only say 4, you guys, because I always tell people, what's your Mount Rushmore?
Okay. Yeah.
But you can do 5.
Okay.
Once again, it could be a group or it could be an individual.
Okay.
But just speak a little bit into the mic so that we can hear it.
Bay Area.
Bay Area.
Oh, man, that's heavy. E40.
Okay, E40.
RBL Posse.
RBL Posse.
Man. Too Short.
You kind of said that one like,
No, well, I mean, Too Short is on a whole nother level, but Too Short, Larry June.
Okay.
Yeah, Larry June, my nephew. That's 4.
Yes.
Damn, the 5th one, I'm going to go with, it could be a group.
It could be a group, yeah.
I'm going with GLP.
Okay.
I'm going to go with GLP. That's covering San Quinn and JT the Bigger Figure. So it's spread it. You know, it's got some Hunters Point in there. We got some Oakland in there. We got some Vallejo in there. And we got some Fillmore in there.
Okay.
So, you know.
Okay.
And then hey man, chill out, man. Calm down.
Okay.
They finna be on my head. I don't know who I left out. You know what? Let me say this.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you, man. You know, that's why I quit doing shout outs on the back of my albums. Or even with the verbal, you know, you giving people shout outs. Man, one day at the studio, I gave out about 20 shout outs. And when I left, man, I seen 7 other people. Herm, why you didn't give me a shout out? Man, you was together the other day. You didn't, man, listen. So I really don't do it.
It's terrible, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go with the 5, with that 5.
Okay. Did Digital Underground ever cross your mind?
Not tonight. No, they did.
Okay.
They did.
I love Digital Underground, man.
I love them too.
You know, because I
had Hammer, you know, I love
Hammer. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I had about 3 years ago, I had a chance to, I actually went to go meet MC Hammer. A guy took me in his dressing room, and it was just me and him. And I had a chance to like chop it up with him for like 10 minutes. And he was very, very cool dude, man. Right. And much love to Hammer. In 1992 at the Gavin Convention in Frisco.
The Gavin Convention, yeah.
I met Shock G there. Shock G to me was a very, very humble guy, and he took the time in the hotel to play me his music. I didn't think Shock G was going to recognize me or pay me, but he walked by me and he looked at me and he was like, "Tony, hey," and I was like,
surprised,
like.
Yeah, humble. He humble.
Yeah,
humble
man.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, so much love and respect to him. My other one, because I don't know if he's L.A. or Bay, Tupac. Oh, see, that's a tough one right there.
Yeah. You know, Tupac is a world. He's a national artist. You know, I mean, I think Tupac was the Bay Area. Yeah. You know, but then you can't discredit L.A. because he had movements here. Yeah, he had movements in the Bay. Yeah, you know, and Tupac he's a big enough figure to represent the whole West Coast. Yes. So let's do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you ever get a chance to meet Tupac?
I met Tupac one time.
Okay, can you walk us through?
It was just I met him for like maybe I met him for like maybe 3 minutes at the Soul Train Awards. Okay. In Los Angeles, and with the All Eyes on Me, the double CD that just came out. It was him, Snoop, Suge Knight, all them. They had a party. MC Hammer was on the label then. Oh yeah. They had a party for that album after the Soul Train Awards. So we go to the Soul Train Awards, and the line is out the door. Yeah. And so we sitting there, and I'm just standing there. And MC Hammer could say, "Herm, man, come on, man. How many you got?" It was like me and 3 other guys. He pulled us in, and Tupac was right there, so I chopped it up with him for a minute. And then him and Snoop Dogg got up and performed the Gangsta Paradise song. The Gangsta
Ain't Nothing But a Gangsta Party.
Yes. Yeah, so they performed that. And after that, Tupac came off stage. We gave each other dap again. And Suge Knight came up to him and said, "Pac, walk outside with me. I got something for you." And when we walked outside, we all followed him outside. He told everybody to follow him outside. Yeah. And he had a brand new convertible Rolls Royce, all black, with the top down. He said, "Man, this is for you, Pac." Wow. Yeah, that's probably was nearly enough money, but he gave him that. Wow. You know, he gave him that for the record release party. Yeah. That night. He gave him a brand new Rolls Royce with the top, and the top was down. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's always sad because when I heard of his passing, bro, I do want to say this, not to disrespect him or his legacy, because when I met him, it was about 2 to 3 minutes, and I just had a couple of words here and there. That's when he still had the Gumby hairstyle, still in Digital Underground. And when I heard of his passing, man, there were dudes that were like, "Hey, man, can you believe that dude got shot again?" You know, and these were brothers, okay? And I was like, "Yeah." And then they straight told me, "That fool won't die, man. Die already." My son, he's 33 now. He loves Pac. But he was one of those guys, my son, that he believed that Tupac was alive still, and this was just a conspiracy by the government, okay? He just did not want to believe that Tupac was gone. So one day I had him talk to Money B. I saw Money B at a club. I took my son with me. He had just turned 21. I said, "My son doesn't believe that Pac passed on, and he just told my son, you know, Tupac's a done deal, man. You need to let him go, and that's it. You know. So, and then after that, my son gets in the car. He goes, "You don't think the government told him to tell me that?" And I'm like, "I don't know what else to tell you, man."
Right,
you know.
right.
But the guy was what, 25 years old, man. Okay, and then I cannot mention Pac without mentioning Biggie. Biggie was 24 years old.
Man, just imagine, man, the catalog they would have.
Yeah.
The lives they would have touched.
Yes.
The influence. You know, it would have been a privilege to see both of them live out their years.
Yeah.
To where, you know, Tupac could have transitioned into whatever productive individual he was going to transition into, start his own label, become a mogul in some other area. Biggie could have uplifted his own label and brought Mace or Lil' Kim or however he was going to do his thing. And hip-hop lost 2 generational talents.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate.
Yeah. You know, and today, you know what, we're in 2024, and this is kind of where I want to touch on you being like a motivational speaker, is that there's a lot of kids today that are rapping, but they just want to cater to the whole gangbanging thing. You know, what would you say to maybe a audience right now that's watching, and maybe there is 12, 11, 13, 14, 15-year-old kids that are trying to, like, man, all I got to do is just let these fools know what's up, tell them that I got the 9s, load this in on YouTube and go viral. You know, if you had an opportunity to be in a room with some of these rappers or this next generation, what would you say?
Man, I would say, you know, I'm not going to I would say this. Be creative. And if you're from the streets and you're really from the streets, you can express some of the street circumstances into whatever music you're doing, but keep it realistic. And don't create a song with the intentions of corrupting younger kids or being destructive in any kind of way. Because you can be creative and write a song that's positive, that's street, that's sort of gangster, and have some sexuality in it too. That way you touch in all aspects. But you don't want to be just kill them, shoot them, use drugs, pop pills, and then you do that. That's your rap. And then in the hook, you saying the same thing. You know, you got to be a little more creative. And you got to, you know, it's like these artists, you got to step out on the limb. You got to break away. I'm going to tell you what Too Short told me years ago. And this is why I never attempted to rap. And sometimes one or two artists is listening to this is going to take heed to what I'm saying.
Yes.
Too Short told me, say, Herm, man, I ain't going to never stop rapping the way I rap. And you don't never stop doing what you're doing. You speak well. That's what got you in the door. And don't try to become a rapper, because then you going to lose your original fan base. So, it's like, be creative. My thing is, just like on my albums, I do the intro, and it's about positivity, but every other artist on there, man, I let them do what they want to do. If you want to rap about this and rap about that, I'll let you do that. Now, periodically, I have had to say, man, look, no, we ain't putting that out there like that. Okay, you're not friend to say that because I know who you speaking on. Okay, and I don't want to have to answer them questions. So, you know, do a good record, be creative, and if you street, okay, you can advocate a little bit of that, but don't over glamorize it. If you moving some drugs, okay, and if you want to emphasize that a little bit without attracting the attention of the federal government, you can do that. Okay? If you packing guns, why would you even want to reveal to the powers that be that you got artillery around you? Okay? That some of this stuff needs to be confidential. Everything don't need to be spoke about. Everything don't need to be rapped about. And you can still get your point across if you are authentic, if you real and your fans can articulate that you real, they can see, fans can see if you phony or if you fake. And if you real, they're going to be like, man, what he's saying is real. Like, for example, you know, and we was on a live podcast, me, TC, and Black Chris.
Okay.
The Bay Area, the Bay Area, the History of the Bay podcast with Dreas One a couple of weeks ago. And we spoke about my nephew, Larry June. I don't know if you're up on Larry June.
No.
You got to download him tonight.
Okay.
When I leave. Larry June, that's my nephew.
Okay.
He have re-inspired my career. He have reignited my career. I have gained 1 million more fan base, 1 million more fans through being associated with my nephew. You know why? Because I'm being who I am. I'm being authentic. And he seen me on Instagram speaking what I speak. And he say, Unc, I want you to come to the studio, just like RBL did, and say something on my album. He's one of the biggest artists in the Bay Area, in the country, right now. And he said, so I go there and do my thing. That was 5 albums ago. I've been on the last 6 albums.
Wow.
Each one of his albums is number one. He's been all over the country, all over the world. Sell out shows everywhere you go.
Wow.
So download Larry June. And individuals out there that listen to Larry June, he got a different style. His whole thing is about being organic, being healthy, having defining things in life. He'll say a little bit about some drugs. He'll say a little bit about some pimping, some money, but he keep it at a minimum to where when you hear him, you know, man, that shit he talking about is real. And then when you see him on his post, the evidence is there.
Right.
So you don't want to be popping all this stuff and over-exaggerating who you are, and then the public see you, and you're not living up to that image.
Yeah.
One thing about me, I'm not going to perpetrate and proclaim to be something I'm not. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going to retire from my job that I've been working 23 years in 10 days. Yeah, I've been working 23 years.
That's awesome.
At the garbage company for the last 23 years. I'm going to retire with full benefits, all the shit. So ain't nothing wrong with being humble, taking on if you have to take on a job to afford your studio time, to afford your promotions, to afford whatever you need to do to get you to the next level, take on that job. I did it.
Yeah.
I done it.
Absolutely.
And I'm satisfied with where I'm at.
Yes.
And like I say, man, everybody out there, and I know a lot of you guys is familiar with Larry June. If you not, download his albums today.
Larry June.
Yep.
All good. All good.
Very
man.
organic. Very peaceful. Yee-hee. Numbers.
All good. One last question. Your book. When did it get released? What inspired you to write a book?
Man, I was, you know Billy Jam? You know Billy Jam?
Billy Jam, I've heard of it.
Billy Jam, Hip Hop Slam, don't give a damn. That's his name. The white boy. Mm-hmm. Been around hip hop, E40, Too Short. That's why I had that conversation with Too Short at Billy Jam house in Berkeley.
Oh, okay.
Billy Jam is a legend. You know, he's a legend. He raised a lot of us. He was our mentors, you know, through the music scene. He pirate DJ and all the stuff, right?
Okay.
But real good dude. And Billy Jam, you know, he was Hip Hop Slam. Billy Jam, don't give a damn. But the book, you know, I ended up writing the book because, you know, Billy Jam said, Herm, you should write a book. And I'm like, yeah, all right. Then other people, Herm, you should write a book. And I wasn't tripping. And one day I was meeting with Ghazi. And his assistant, this chick named Ebony.
Uh-huh. She
came out from the back like, Herm, you should write a book. So I'm like, man, I would write a book, but I don't know. I don't have the knowledge.
Yeah, you don't know how to go about it.
I don't know how to go about it. Now I can write down what I want, and if you're willing to take what I write down and reformulate it to make it sound appropriate in book form, if you're willing to do that, I'll pay you a little something. We can do it.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, Herm, I do it. When you want to get, I said, I'll be get started. So I just started, writing down notes. My writing is terrible. So I take it to her. She said, Herm, I can't understand half of this stuff, but I'm going to figure it out. So she figured it out, right? And I gave her like 10 pages, 10 more. Next thing you know, she started showing me the manuscript, and it was coming together.
Yeah.
And that's how the book materialized. And in the book, everything is not perfect. See, and that's another thing. A lot of individuals would put their stuff on the shelf for 3-4 years because one word is misspelled or one word is spaced too far or whatever. I looked at the book and like, man, look, man, this is trying to be done. The public is waiting on this book. It's coming out. So I finished the book, a couple of errors here and there, put the book out there, and the book sold well. And the book is a real easy read. Everybody that had bought the book say, Herm, your book is so good. I didn't know you've been through all that. I didn't know you had them type of experiences, because everybody know me. Like I said, I've been clean and sober 32 years.
Yeah.
So my kids don't even know my drug addiction experience. Wow. I have told them, but they don't know. They just know they daddy been a bad motherfucker all these years. Yeah. And that's what it is.
For people that want to order it, is it still available?
Man, the book is it's not available right now. I would have to order some more. Like I said, I got probably like 5 or 10 of them left. And I'm going to send you one. Like I said, I'll be wanting to hold on to a few of them, a couple of pieces, put them in the back. 10 years from now, I've run across it. But I just ain't been ordering no more, Right. They sold, I think I sold probably like maybe 2,000 books.
Okay.
Yeah, $20 a pop, here and there. I pull out the trunk. I think I put some online. I put some on Big Cartel. So yeah, people bought the book.
What was the name of the book?
Herm Lewis, Street Soldier. Herm Lewis, Street Soldier, lessons to be learned from an OG street soldier, Herm Lewis.
Awesome. Yeah. I was told, and I don't know if I'm correct, that you have a son that actually played professional football.
Yeah.
Can you kind of fill us in on that?
Yeah.
And what team?
My son played with the Buffalo Bills. That's my stepson.
Okay.
I came into his life when he was 2 years old. When I got out the penitentiary in '89, I met my wife, my then wife. She passed away 11 years ago. But I met his mom, and it was him. He was 2 years old, and he had a sister that was 4 years old. So I took on the responsibility and just raised him like you would raise your kid.
Yeah,
I raised him. He get 8 years old. I put him on the football team. He get 14 years old. He's still playing football, basketball. But I'm seeing a special skill in him.
Yeah.
But I'm not telling him. I'm just, man, you got to practice. You got to do this. I'm encouraging him.
Yes.
When he get 20, he's All-American in high school. Basketball and football. Then he go to Kentucky. Play at Kentucky for 2 years after he became an All-American at Chabot Junior College. He went to Kentucky for 2 years, got drafted in the 7th round by the Buffalo Bills, and he made the team. He was on the bubble.
Oh wow!
7th round. He was the least person. He was like a Brock Purdy type of deal.
Yes.
He wasn't expected to make the team, but he ended up making the team. And once he made the team, he just elevated, and became their number one receiver.
Wow. And
right now in Buffalo, he holds the record for the only Buffalo wide receiver to have 3 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons.
Wow.
Yeah. Now I got another son too that played at Utah University.
Okay.
And he was All-American too in junior college. Went to Utah and things just didn't pan out the way he had wanted them to.
Uh-huh.
He didn't get the playing time he wanted to, so his career ended at Utah. He played a little semi-pro football for a year, But after that, he decided to jump into real estate, and he do a little podcasting too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And So What Do You Do? That's the name of his podcast.
All good.
So What Do You Do?
Now, before we take calls, who's your NFL team?
The San Francisco 49ers, the team that just signed Brandon Ayuk, the team with the Mr. Irrelevant quarterback, Purdy. We gonna do it this year. We lost the last couple of Super Bowls, man, but we got to make it back. And I know because Jeff told me that you are a Dallas Cowboy fan. So who's your team?
My Dallas Cowboy fans. And we're going to the Super Bowl again. I'm going to say that every year. Every year. Even though Stephen A. Smith don't like us, but you know what? I got love for Stephen A. Smith.
That's what's up, man.
Now, really quick, you guys lost to the same team twice.
You got to rub that in. Do you really got to rub that in?
Yes, because I know Goto's going to be watching. And during the Super Bowl, I kept texting his dad. He goes like, bro, just stop.
That's my guy, man. Gold Toes. I got a lot of respect for Gold Toes, man. And me and him we connected.
Yes.
We connected. And he done that 17 Reasons compilation.
Yeah.
And that, and he was influenced by the first compilation, and he seen how it was working, and he capitalized and done the 17 Reasons compilation with the convertible 64 Chevy with San Quinn and all of that. Great album. So, and his brother Sean, I seen Sean over at the Midway at Dre's One Party, and we kicked it. Gold Toes couldn't make it, but one love, Gold Toes. You know it's love, baby.
All good. Alex, go ahead and put up the number.
49ers.
There you go. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me know when the number's up. Okay, and then I'll tell you. But we got probably about 15 minutes to take some calls. So if you guys want to call in and ask Herm, Lewis, anything you guys want, call in and ask. I know we had one person that said, give me the number, I'm going to call in. So let me know. Is the number up? Okay, the number's up, everybody. Anybody that want to call in, go ahead and call in right now, and I'll let you know when to put on the headphones. Anything you guys want to ask him, if you guys want to ask him about his first compilation, the second compilation, the artist that he signed, his book, doesn't matter. Go ahead. We got about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. So I know you got a somewhat of a drive to get back, but we're going to give everybody an opportunity. So if you guys don't want to call, then we're just going to go ahead and here it is right here. Okay. Oh, shoot. My bad. Okay, let me see. Oh, no, let me take this out. Okay, let me know when I'm connected. Okay, am I connected yet? No? Hold on, callers. Let me see. Shoot. Okay. Now? Okay, cool. Callers, call back. Here we go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you for using.
Okay, let's go. At least we had one prank call. Okay, well, you can go ahead and put on the headphones. And this is your volume right here in case you want to adjust it. Okay, so now if you guys want to call in, once again, go ahead. First caller, my apologies that I missed you, but the phone lines are open. So if you guys want to do that, and this is the same caller. So let me decline. 858 area code. I already know you're trying to prank call, so don't even try it, pal. You know what? Go have a Modelo, eat your top ramen, and enjoy the rest of the interview. Okay, because I'm not going to be playing your games. So
not the top ramen.
Here we go. Caller, your name or where are you calling from?
This is B12 from the Bay.
B12 from the Bay.
B12 from the Bay. That's my guy right there, man.
What's up, big homie?
Hey, B12, how you doing?
I'm good, bro. Jeff said you was down there doing it big with the legendary Tony A. I said, I'm going to call in.
That's good, man. I'm glad you made the call, man. That's what's up.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Thank you.
Shout out to Tony A, man.
Thank you, my brother.
Hey,
really
man,
appreciate the time.
B12, man, was running the thing up there at Bayside.
Oh, okay.
And looked out for me, took care of me. You know, JT, the bigger figure, I spoke with him, and he said, Herm. Man, what I see JT at the.
You need to go to Bayside.
I see JT over at the Delinquents record release party, and JT like, Herm, you got to put out another compilation. Man, I'm gonna take you up to Bayside, man. B12 gonna take care of you. Took me up there, man. I got a check for $50,000.
Ooh.
Yeah, I won't never forget that. B12, I love you, man.
I love you too, big homie. And you paved the way from all of us from the neighborhood all the way around the Bay, man. Tony A, thank you, bro. I've been a fan since High C, bro. I still got my original tape, And man, you just keep doing what you're doing. I love that you're providing a platform for so many people that deserve it.
Thank you, my brother. Greatly appreciate you taking
man.
the time. Yes, sir. Peace.
All right.
Much love and respect to him, man, for calling in. Thank you for that. Greatly appreciate that. The phone lines are open, so here we go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Big Mac. I'm calling from San Francisco.
Big Mac. Oh, my goodness. What's right here is class. Hey, Big Mac. What's going on?
What's going on, man? I got a question for Herm. First, I want to salute my guy, first of all, for being the ambassador of the city. Not just the city, but the bay. But my question is, how does it feel to be the blueprint? What I mean by the blueprint is, the blueprint to trying to survive in the ghetto set it off for a couple of CEOs. Not just Master P, they see the bigger figure, a lot of CEOs that are in the game right now, running with this major distribution deal thing and getting big money. How does it feel to be the blueprint of that? And also, not just the blueprint, but the dude that's still down to earth and approachable to anybody in the street, in the city. Anybody can walk up to Big Herm, say what's up, and get a handshake, a hug, and some good vibes and all that. How does it feel to be
Big Mac, I appreciate that, man. It's like it feels great because I have always been a trendsetter, and we don't pat ourselves on the back. We just do what's in our heart to do. And me doing the compilation was just something that God put on my heart to do, and I took that initial step, and He blessed it. And the other individuals, all the other CEOs that was originally just hustling and trying to figure out what to do with their money, once they seen me, a non-rapper, come out and create my own lane, they took notice. Just like you said, from Master P to everybody else. And I feel good about that because I know that I have influenced a lot of individuals. And my biggest thing is I want to make sure I'm not never discredited for the contributions that I created and made possible in the hip hop industry. And that's what I value.
Awesome.
Well, I just want to add one more thing. Everybody that since that compilation and that album, because the thing is that you gave people opportunities, and then you didn't step on their artistic abilities. You didn't tell them what you wanted them to rap about. You didn't tell them none of that. If we saw your head bobbing, we was pleased that you was pleased.
I love that.
Every album, every album that happened after that. Like, it was like, let me prove to Herm I got skills. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I got that heat. You know what I'm saying? And we go in the studio, we go in that booth and spit. And then, as long as we see your head bobbing, oh, man, that's all we need to see. And I just got to thank you for not stepping on. There's so many artists you let on your compilations, you let us be us. You know what I'm saying? Right. You let us be us and do the songs we did. And that way, you had a vision and we had a vision, and boom, you let us be us, man. I appreciate that.
Hey, Mac, I appreciate you, man. You have always been one of the top artists in the Bay Area. Major skills, and you giving me that compliment means a lot, especially with you taking the time out of your busy day to call in and acknowledge me. I won't never forget it. Appreciate you, man.
No, absolutely, because I've been checking in on Wiz, too. I've been checking on Wiz, too, and because Jeff told me about Wiz a while ago, so every time I roll through L.A. on my way to Arizona, I think about Wiz and his show. So I've been thinking about it for a while, over a year now.
Cool.
So I just want to give a shout-out to Wiz as well, Tone, you as well. And I just wanted to call in and show my support, man.
Good looking, Big Mac.
All good, my brother. Thank you for taking the time.
Y'all have a good one.
You too, my brother. Stay blessed. Okay, let's go. The phone lines are open. We got time for a couple of more phone calls. Let's see. You hang up. Caller, let me see. The 415. Go ahead and call back. And I guess you let it ring like one time. So let's see. All right, thank you for those calls, everybody. Man, it's good to receive love. You know what I'm saying? All positive. So let's keep it pushing that way. Let's see. All right, let's see. Boom, boom. 415. Call back. If not, we're gonna call you back. So, so once again, you guys, we got time for a little bit more. So if you guys want to call in, ask Herm anything, just want to just show him love, ask him about his book, ask him about whatever the case may be. Go ahead and call in. And, we'll do that. But other than that, Herm, you enjoying yourself?
Without a doubt.
All good. You got anything for us over there, Alex?
Roadium. That's how you pronounce it?
Who's that? Roadium.
Roadium.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
Roadium Radio, baby.
Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
What's happening? This is Sean Richards, man, calling from San Francisco.
All good, my brother.
Sean Richards, man. What's happening?
Man, you got the number one stunner on the radio, man, with Herm Lewis, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't get no better than Herm Lewis.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
What's
you,
the
Sean.
word, Herm? What you got going on, man?
Man, I'm getting an award tomorrow from the West Coast Hip Hop Music Awards down here in LA. And my guy Jeff,
okay.
He hooked me up with Tony and told me to come down and do the podcast. And man, I appreciate you calling in, Sean.
Man, I love Jeff Quan, man. Jeff by the pound Quan, man.
That's
you know
it.
What I'm saying? We go way back like backpack.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Herm, not too many originators are still around, man. And you know what I'm saying? You one of them number one originators, man.
All good.
Good, man. I appreciate that.
You deserve all the flowers you getting, bro. For real, for real.
Absolutely.
Hey, if it wasn't for you, Herm, I wouldn't have managed RBL Posse, bro.
Real talk.
It was because of you, bro.
Real talk, man. Real talk. Sean, we got a history, man, and it's all embedded in love. This guy right here, he done stood on the front line with me on many occasions.
Awesome.
And vice versa. On positive activities.
Yes.
Upliftment. His program is Brothers Against Guns.
Okay.
And he was one of the individuals that's originally from Fillmore.
Yes.
But his program happened to be in Hunters Point.
Oh, okay.
In the midst of the chaos. And the guys from Hunters Point was like, man, we can't, he from Fillmore. Woo, woo. And I had to speak to the guys, the captains and generals of the gang activity. I had to speak to them. Say, man, listen.
From West Point to Harvard.
This brother here is trying to bring opportunities for us, regardless if he's from Fillmore. Yeah. He got a heart of gold, and he's not with no unnecessary drama. We need to make it possible for him to be here comfortably because it's going to benefit all of us from Hunters Point to West Point. And that happened, and we did that. From the Midnight Basketball League to other activities.
You did that.
No, we did it. We did it.
We did it together, but you was the first one to step up and speak. You and Kim Mitchell, man, on my behalf.
I appreciate it, man.
Straight up.
Appreciate it.
All good,
and I called in to give you your flowers, man, and tell you I love you, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. And you know what I'm saying? Hey, you're the only brother I know on some real stuff. And I'm gonna end it with this and say it like this. You're the only brother I know for real that I grew up with, that I've been around my whole entire life, that retired from working.
Solid.
Not too many have retired, bro.
Solid, man. I appreciate that. That's love.
So, my hat off to you, man. Congratulations, bro.
See you at the party. See you at the party, October the 5th, baby.
For sure, baby.
Without a doubt. All right.
All good, my brother. Peace.
All right.
All right, guys. We got time for one more phone call. I'm thinking about me making a phone call. Hold on. Let me see. Who can I call? Let me see. Maybe Ghostbusters. Let me see. Here we go. Let's see if he picks up.
Gold Toes?
No. Watch.
Hello.
Have you been trying to call my brother? We're live right here with Herm Lewis on Roadium Radio. Can you please introduce yourself?
This is Jeff Kwan.
Jeff Kwan. Now I know that voice from anywhere, man. You got a distinguished voice like me.
Yes, absolutely. What's good, Jeff, man? I thought you were going to try to call, bro. What's up with that?
I had all my people call in.
Oh, all good, man. All good. Anything you would like to say, maybe that I might have missed with Herm Lewis?
Just salute to both of you guys.
All
both
good,
of you
man.
guys keeping it lit.
Absolutely, man. Greatly appreciate you, bro. Taking the time while I called you.
All good, man. All good.
Appreciate you, Jeff. You know, one thing about Jeff, man, he has been a loyal individual from day one.
Yeah.
I mean, from way back.
Yeah.
Every year he introduced me to something, or he got a decision, or he got something going on related to music or podcasting or something of that nature that elevate me to another level.
Yeah.
So anything I can do to encourage him, support him, I want to do it. You know, that's why when he told me, but Jeff, you heard the frustration in my voice earlier today, huh?
Yes, I did.
Oh, my God. Hey, man, Melody said, baby, we down here for that. We going to that. We getting on the freeway right now. Dude, She forced me in the car, handcuffed me to the motherfucking door, and drove me down here. And, hey, but once we got on the road, man, it was good, man. We got something to eat.
Well, I took care of you too.
Yeah. I'm shooting that back to you though, man.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
Right on, Jeff. It's good. I appreciate you, man.
Likewise.
All good.
All right, Jeff, man. Thank you, man. Have a blessed night, and we'll definitely talk soon, my bro.
Okay, cool.
All right, brother.
All right.
Peace.
All right.
Okay, let's go ahead and end it right there. Let me go ahead and unplug this because I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. Let me see. Let me get out
Hopefully
of here.
that traffic gone.
Oh, yeah, it should be gone. Most definitely. Let me see. Clear. Bam, we're good. Okay, Alex, we're good. We can turn that down. Herm, anything that I didn't ask you, anything that you would like to promote, anything you would like to say at this point before we give our shout outs that you don't want to give?
No, I can give some shout outs. I'm still on?
Yes. Yeah,
Hey, man, what's happening? I want to give a shout out to West Coast Hip Hop Music Awards, Artavius Miller. I want to give out to Roadium Radio, Tony, and the DJ over there. I want to give a shout out to my wifey Melody sitting right over there. And Big Mac, much love and respect. Sean Richards, much love and respect. Jeff Kwan, much love and respect. I want to give a shout out to the entire Los Angeles.
Thank you. Absolutely.
I want to give a shout out to the entire Bay Area. One love, peace, and power to the people.
Absolutely. Alex, let me go ahead and give my shout out. So once again, I'm going to give a shout out to my boy Alex Cervantes Enterprise, to my boy the Hip Hop Jedi, to my son B Scanless, and also to Marvelous Inc., one of my co-hosts, and to Forever Genesis. Her album will be dropping soon. Okay, it's already done. We just got to figure out a game plan, when to release the video, when to release the record, and we'll bring her back here, we'll promote it, etc. But other than that, Herm, you know what? I want to thank you for coming through. But before I say my goodbye, I believe, Alex, you have one thing over there, right?
Yeah, we have a super chat. Michael Rosas dropped $5. He said, Tony, would you consider getting Play a Ham or a Tweed Cadillac on your show, or even Folsom?
Well, you know what? The first two I've tried for like the last 2 years, if not a little bit longer. And believe it or not, it's not that they didn't say yes. It's just that the guys that supposedly told me they can put me in contact with them never got back to me. So I've been trying for a long time. If anybody knows them, message me on Instagram and say, Tone, I could hook you up. Tone, I can get it for you. I'll do it. Now, as far as Folsom, I know T-Dub just passed away, so it would only be 2. So whatever I can do, I'll try to do it. So much love and respect to T-Dub and his family. But yeah, that was it. So, okay. Other than that, I want to thank the callers. I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight, everybody who liked, commented, subscribed. Other than that, once again, Herm Lewis, thank you. It's been a great pleasure meeting you. I'm glad once again that Jeff put us in contact. Hopefully this is not our last time. Maybe next time we'll go through your book or something, you know?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Absolutely, my brother. So once again, thank you. And congratulations on your award tomorrow.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, other than that, see you guys here on Sunday. And once again, I released 3 videos on members only. So I want to thank all of my members that I guarantee you, okay, every week you're going to get at least 2 new videos on members only. I loaded up you're just going to have to go see what I loaded up. If you want to kind of get a hint, go to the community on my YouTube, and I posted up the flyers, the thumbnails to members only videos, if you will. So once again, every week I'm going to guarantee you at least 2. Okay, it's got to be worth it for you guys to become members. So much love and respect to all my members. We're out of here. See you guys on Sunday.